Well, good afternoon. My name is John Mazzara with Remax Results, and today I have a special guest. I have Mark Lozano, and Mark is going to tell us all about Rose's Daughters. Now, there are various movers, of course, across the Twin Cities, but Rose's Daughters is different. That's why I wanted them to come on the channel. They specialize in downsizing and helping seniors, but regular moves as well. I'm going to kind of be quiet here, toss it over to Mark, and let him introduce himself, his company, and hopefully you'll learn a lot. Mark, take it away.
Great. Thank you so much. And I am so thrilled to be here and to talk a little bit more about Rose's Daughters. Um, Interestingly enough, we've been around for over 23 years, and we were founded by Rose's two daughters.
Huh.
So that is actually a real thing. Our current owner purchased the company a number of years ago, and that is Eddie McGill. And he and the operations manager, Tommy, have really run the company up until more recently. We are very unique in terms of moving services because we focus on our retirees, our senior citizens, and the elderly, um, and provide really a white glove kind of caring service for these people. It's a really unique market if you take a step back and think about that. It's our parents, our grandparents, our aunts and uncles, great aunts, great uncles, that may be moving from their forever home down to their first retirement community, or from a retirement community into assisted living, all the way through memory care down to nursing homes. We do all kinds of services and really taking a thoughtful and compassionate approach when we work with our customers. Um, they need the TLC, and we deliver the TLC because of the caring, compassionate staff that we have hired. We have folks that support the packing process, the team lead process, the moving process, that are ranging in age from anywhere from upper 20s to our one of our more senior um, packers is actually in her 80s. So we
Wow.
have people in this also age group that are helping, and it makes the customers really in tune with what we do, and understanding and feeling good about the support that we provide for them. So, if I can, let me just kind of take you a little bit through our process, and then I can tell you more
Hmm.
about the services.
Sure.
Um, so when someone expresses interest, it could be a referral, it can be just an email into our information inbox at rosesdaughters.com. Um, we first want to talk to them and get out and do an estimate. And that's when we actually have one of our individuals go out to someone's residence, and it could be, again, their forever home, it could be an apartment, it could be a move within a community, and get an assessment for what needs to be done, whether that's the downsizing or simply moving within a community, so that our customers, have a really firm idea of what the cost might look like. And the costs are very, very reasonable in comparison to just a regular moving company. We're very much not just a moving company. Um, so we start with getting to know someone. It could be potentially family members. Oftentimes, it's adult children that are there with the customer that's actually moving, just to be of support and assistance. So we take them through what the cost looks like. We send that to them later that day or the next morning. Um, and if that customer is agreeable to that cost estimate, we get them scheduled for that move. And the scheduling could be a couple weeks out, it could be a couple months out. It just depends on what's going on with that customer. Um, when we engage with that move, we have a team of packers and movers, in addition to a team lead that oversees the entire effort. And with that said, it's much more engaging than just having people come in and pack stuff and move stuff. Um, the packers actually get to a location first and literally start packing someone's household goods up. The movers arrive later, within 45 minutes to an hour after that, and actually start physically moving the furniture to the truck. By that time that they are getting through moving the furniture and larger items, the packers have physically packed up boxes, and they start packing or moving the boxes to the truck, load up, move it to the destination location, and then the movers start moving the things into the new residence. By the time that started, the packers start unpacking. all the items from the boxes and putting things away. I should say at the point of origin, we've also been taking pictures of how things look in the cabinets, in the refrigerator,
Hmm.
on your nightstand, in the bathroom, so that when we're unpacking and unloading things in the new location, we've got pictures to reference so that it minimizes that change impact to the client or the customer. So we can make your nightstand look the same. We can put things away in the refrigerator just like they look like at the point of origin.
Hmm.
Um, the change impact can really be very, very stressful, and that's what we're really trying to minimize as your move manager or move management team, is so that everything looks at least very similar or as similar as it could be to the point of origin. It's very stressful when you get to be anytime you're relocating and moving things, let alone when you might be a senior citizen or someone in elder care or memory care facilities. Having the familiarity of what things look like before and after is critically important to making someone
Hmm.
feel better. Typically, also during this process, not only are we unloading, putting things away, we might go as far as making beds and hanging artwork on the walls. So
Hmm.
it's really, again, a very thorough, very, very thoughtful process. And really critically important is we also oftentimes do these moves all within the same day. So we're packing, loading, transporting, unpacking, unloading, and doing all of the other work the same day. If it's a
Hmm.
really big job, let's just say it's a first time downsizing from your forever home, we might pack one day and then come back the next day, load, deliver, unpack, unload, etc. So it just kind of depends on the size of that, but that's what we're preparing the customer for plenty of time ahead so that they have a firm understanding of what the plan looks like. So we really have engaged customers. Um, Oftentimes they're thanking us for being so kind and so thoughtful right there on the job, which is wonderful. We also get amazing thank you notes after jobs are done
Hmm.
that are in cursive, handwritten notes
Ah,
from the
yes.
customer, which you just don't have these days
Ah,
very often. So it's very satisfying. It's very fulfilling um, to to know that you've touched these people and their families' hearts.
very nice.
Does
Well,
that
that
make sense?
sounds, yeah, that sounds great. Now, what if somebody wants to move, but let's just say they have a piano, I'm just using that as an example, and they can't or don't want to take that with them? Is that something that in your packing that you can say, fine, we're going to leave that here, we're going to get rid of it for you? Or how does that work with items that they can't or don't want to take with them?
Sure. It absolutely happens all the time. There could be part of the services that we offer. Let me take a step back. Over and above just the standard things that I've outlined, we can just come in and do sorting. We can come in and just help them figure out what they need to move in preparation for that move.
Hmm.
We can engage estate sales folks to help them with an estate sale before or after the move. We can do, I say in air quotes, junk removal. It's not really junk. These are personal
Hmm.
items, but
Sure.
we can engage different partners for that. We can have folks come in and pick up a piano. We can do special deliveries and special planning and moving of pianos, for example, because that's a big deal. That's not just standard
Mhm.
furniture. Um, we can even come in and help replace garage doors. I mean, it's one of these weird things that can happen that they're like, well, can you also fix my garage door? And we have those kind of connections to all kinds of services. So if we're talking to a customer, we really want them to open their mind up to all the different things that they might need, that they might have been concerned or afraid of saying something or not sure what we can do or how to go about that, because we have the connections and the resources for just about anything that you can possibly imagine. And that includes connections to real estate folks to help them finding new residents if they're not sure where they need to go, if it's not quite that time to go to assisted living, but they
Mhm.
need a condo someplace that they are not sure of. We get all kinds of questions from the customers as well as their family members about how and what services we can provide. Um, we provide all the products, all the boxes, the paper, the packing materials. We also take all of those things away. So it's just very, very comprehensive services in terms of it's not just coming in, packing stuff that same day, loading it, going, and just taking it away. Again, planning, preparing the customer, coming in with a team to make sure that they're taken care of. We'd like oftentimes for them to not be around the entire time. We don't want them to trip on a
Mhm.
rug or bump into something. But sometimes a customer is there, and we interact with them and chat with them as needed. But we also want to focus and do the job so that they can get into their new residence as effectively as possible.
Okay, so you're really a moving quarterback, but you can coordinate everything, get everything and beyond a move if necessary. Is it a la carte, such that they say, well, you know what, I'll take care of this, but you take care of that. Is it, are you fairly flexible that way? Or how does
Yes, yes. Yeah, we really want to understand if they're just looking for just a physical move, we have connections with a partner company that we would refer them to. So if they're just like, I just need someone to come in and move my stuff, we'll connect them with, again, one of our resources. But if they're like, we want to box up this room, or we want to do this, or we want to unpack some stuff on the destination, some of those items, we can work with just about anything that a customer or their family needs us to do for them. So, yeah, very
yeah.
flexible a la carte. That makes absolute sense. We like to do everything from soup to nuts to take care of it all for them, because if
Mhm.
we've packed it and we've unpacked it, we know exactly how everything looked, how things are packed, what's where per se.
Sure.
But again, very flexible. Um, to help our folks, our customers, and whatever they might need. I think an interesting element too is that when we have some of these larger communities that could be just a 55 and older community or a more senior community, um, independent living, assisted living, memory care, whatever, oftentimes those communities have many of those components within a large building or many buildings on one location. So oftentimes we'll come and we'll actually do some moves. So there's no moving van or moving truck
Hmm.
involved, but we've got movers and packers that are moving you from the second floor to the sixth floor, or
Oh,
they're remodeling an apartment, or they're doing some addition. There's buildings that are adding assisted living that they've had
mhm.
customers waiting. So we can do moves within buildings or within communities as well. We've
Okay.
done uh, 15 to 16, 17 moves, small moves within a couple days, just to help
Interesting.
just focus. So we don't want to disrupt a community. If we can focus and do things in a diligent manner and take care of it quickly, sometimes that's very, very effective as well. And people don't think about that. People don't even
Right.
sometimes know our industry with senior moving management actually exists.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, to the extent that you move intra like that, intra development, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Um, So when are you seeing most of like I've been a real estate broker for 40 years and sold over 1,200 homes across the metro, and usually people contact at least the ones that I'm going to say are um, more maybe younger are going to be contacting a mover after their home is under contract. Are you seeing that the people that are contacting you, maybe more of the downsizers, the older folks, or is there an ideal time that they should contact you, like 6 months prior to a move, or after the home is on the listed and sold, or what is the best time for everybody if you had to make a suggestion that way?
Sure. So with the customers that we work with, things can happen very much out of the blue. So we love to say if you have this on the radar that you're going to be moving to a retirement community or independent living or whatever the case might be, I would say at least 2 to 3 months ahead of time is fantastic. Generally speaking, we need maybe a few days up to a week, week and a half to get out to do an estimate, depending on what time of the year and how busy it might be. Um, but if we can get folks that are planning 3 to 6 months ahead to just be thinking about this, get out to do an estimate, so we can say, get a sorting job done. Let's get an estate sale part of this. Other things that they might not be thinking of that we can help source, get those things out 3 to 6 months ahead of time. That's fantastic. What you find, however, with our clients, our customers, excuse me, is a spouse passes away and suddenly I need to downsize. Somebody gets diagnosed with Alzheimer's or early onset Alzheimer's. I need to make a decision very quickly. So if you can plan, if you're on a wait list to get into a independent living or retirement community, get us out there. Let us help you as soon as possible. Get prepared so you're not running around feeling really crazed 3 weeks before you're supposed to move. The more time you can get, the better it is. But because of how our customers or the circumstances that are surrounding our customers as they age, time may not be the element that's available to them. So if
Sure.
you can plan ahead 3 to 6 months, that's fantastic. But we can work with 2, 3, 4 weeks notice if necessary. That's not a problem. We can typically make that happen, and we'll talk them through that or talk their family members through that. We also oftentimes have family members that are helping from out of state. Earlier this summer, we were working with someone that was from Oregon,
Hmm.
someone from Nevada, someone from Florida. So, trying to make that connection and help them from a distance also support their local family members. So, again, planful is great, 3 to 6 months to get that thought process going. We don't always have that convenience, and some of our customers don't always have that convenience either. So, whatever you
Sure.
can do to plan ahead is fantastic.
Okay, well, that's good to know your short notice in case there is that reactive versus proactive move,
Hmm.
which happens frequently with health when somebody has that situation. Um,
Absolutely.
if you give an estimate, is there a time expiration on that? Like, let's say it's whatever it's going to cost, but then all of a sudden I'm really not moving for 8 months. Do I need to get a new estimate, or is the estimate, how long is an estimate good for, and does it change very often?
Generally speaking, the estimates out there for an indeterminate or undetermined amount of time. It doesn't really matter. Um,
Okay,
if, however, we've done an estimate and maybe the customers come back to say, I want some sorting done, or I want an estate sale done, or my family members have come and taken some things out of the house or out of the residence. Um, we want to come back and just reassess to make sure, okay, we don't have as many items as we had originally. We've actually been able to eliminate many things, so therefore the cost is reduced, or
sure.
we've inherited some things, we're taking on some things. So if there's, and again, we talk to a customer and say, has anything significantly changed with the original timing? And we often, especially if we're involved with connecting them with the estate sales, or we're doing the job with sorting or junk removal, we're going to be aware and be able to adjust that estimate and provide an update to the customer.
Okay. And Mark, are you the contact? So if I called into Rose's daughter and said, I want to help my mom move, do I get you or who do I get?
Actually, you get typically our operations manager was Tommy, um, and it's our main number that you would call, which is 612-330-3772, or you can send an email or visit our website, of course, rosesdaughters.com.
Hmm.
Um, uh, by visiting the website, you can submit a request for information at information or info at rosesdaughters.com. But I would say anybody that can visit the website, there's so much information there, so many robust pieces of information, some wonderful testimonials so you can see what the customers have to say, which warms my heart every time I see them, and I could read them a dozen times over. But yeah, you can call us at 612-330-3772, or go to rosesdaughters.com and get all the information you might need.
Yeah, I'm out on your website right now. It's a beautiful website. Looks like lots of resources. I looked at your Google rankings and ratings. You're 4.8, lovely ratings, a lot of good testimonials. So you've been around. Your name is respected. That's why you're on the channel today because of the service that you do in the community. So there are other companies that maybe not so much, but this isn't your first rodeo. You know
Well,
what you're doing.
Well,
Uh,
thank you so much. I really appreciate all of that. And also just one final note is just a reminder that we are locally owned and sourced. So we serve the Twin Cities metropolitan area primarily. We can do special jobs sometimes for outstate, but we really do focus on the Twin Cities metro area. That's how we can get a job done in a day. But
yes.
we are locally owned. So I'd love to say that. Um,
Hmm.
a little nice side note.
Yeah, no, we like to help our own people if we can.
Yes.
Um, Anything else as far as ideas, thoughts that you'd like to share with everybody that's watching?
I think just as we touched on, just um, that there is such a niche for our kind of service, helping retirees, but the white glove treatment that we take so much care with our senior citizens, the elderly, and also, it could be an executive move or just a high-end move as well. We just have a staff that truly cares about the customers that we're helping, whether we're packing, moving, or just leading the job to get done. We're there to help and be as supportive and compassionate as possible.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the channel today. In the body and the description, I'm going to be putting all of the information that we talked about, the website, how to reach you or how to reach your company. And then anybody that's watching, I would recommend you give them a call. I think you'll be happy. Nothing but good things have ever been said about Rose's Daughters. So make sure you check them out. Thanks for watching today.
Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
coming, Mark.
Thank you.